Hi everyone. So in the last class, I explained clearly how can you create a simple list and how to display in reverse order, all these things we have discussed. Today the first one about the for each loop. First of all, let me explain the differences between the for loop and for each loop. For loop is used to access elements of list, process the elements. For each loop is also same, but some of the advantages are there and some of the disadvantages also there. See, using for loop, you can display the elements using their index. Display or iterate, simply iterate or process elements using index. You need to specify very clearly where it has to start, where it has to end. Suppose list dot count minus 1, and how much it has to increase step every time. Then only you can write the code console dot write line, something like a list of I. But in case of for each, no need to specify like that. All you need to specify just list each element. Where type means what? It will take any kind of element. It will store anything, just element in the list. Automatically, each element will come and store into that element variable, and simply we are printing that element. No use of index while working with the for each loop, while working with the for each. But here it is some limitations also there. What are the limitations? Of course, advantage is what? Advantage, easy processing. Easy processing, no index is required. No need to specify index. But limitations, can process all elements one by one, and only in forward direction. Only in a forward direction. In reverse direction, suppose if you want to display the elements, it's impossible to display. In reverse direction, it is not possible to display the elements. Only in forward direction, that too one by one only. Sir, suppose I need to print only sublist from index number 2 to 5 only. It's not possible. I want to print in reverse order. It's not possible. You must go with the for loop only. For each loop, only if you want to process all elements one by one, that too only in forward direction. Then only we can go with the for each loop. Let me show you in all the ways how can you display. The previous code only, what we have discussed, that we are using, creating the list, right, by adding the elements 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Now is a simple message, console dot write line. Simply that list is, we are printing all elements first using for loop. For using its intelligence, it will write I equals to 0 from I less than count. It is printing list of I. If you confuse, less than 5 means what? 4. If you confuse means less than or equals to count minus 1. It will be useful for reverse also. It is printing this list. You need to specify the starting index. You need to specify the ending index, and as well as a step. So suppose using for each loop, how can we? For each loop, look at this. This is list using for loop, list using for each loop. for each loop. How can we look at this? It will write the code automatically as soon as you write a for each. See, look at this. Automatically, each element will come and store into the variable I. Integer na directly it is representing, or it will take var. Any variable you can use here. X suppose. Here X. From this list, one by one element will come and store into this variable called X. And that is printing. When you are executing the code, right here it is, both will print the same output. One is using the for loop and second one is using the for each loop. But I just want to display in reverse order. Display in reverse order. Console dot write line list in reverse. You have only option is what? For loop. Only option is what? For loop. List dot count -1. I greater than or equals to 0. I minus minus. Then printing. In reverse order, it is displaying that one. Okay. So we can go with the for each. Maximum we use for each only, because whenever you are processing the list, mostly every time all elements we process, the two in forward direction only. That in a forward direction only. That's it. Okay. Right. In reverse order, it will display. This is the only advantage of a for each loop. Next one, after displaying, you can remove also. Just list printing, not only add. Right after adding, list dot remove. Remove option is there. Int item you are removing. Look at this. Removing the item. It is returning the Boolean value. Returning the Boolean value. Sir, what is that item? If I give 3, suppose if I give 3, when I execute the code, look at this. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Is it removed? No. We are providing this 30. 30. Right? So instead of this, remove is returning that bool value. Bool. Just removed or not. We are collecting into a variable called removed. If I give 3, if removed, same variable I'm using, true or false. See, if removed, console dot write line, right? That element is removed from the list. Else, console dot write line, no such element. No such element to remove. No such element to remove. Like this, we are writing clearly. Okay. Here, if element is present, then it will remove. If element is not present, then it will give the error. So when you are executing this, no such element to remove. If 30 is there, 30 will be removed. Sir, after that, I just want to print followed by console dot write line. That list is simply, I'm writing like this. String dot join with the list. Remaining values, what it is printing. Remaining values, it will display. See, 30 removed, element is removed, 10, 20, 40, 50 is there. Because 30 removed. 30 removed. No, sir. This is just removing the value. Now here it is, I'm writing that list dot list dot remove at. Remove at. Now it is not expecting the element. It is expecting the index value. Index. Now 3 I am giving. 3 at third location. What is the element? Sir, what is that return type? See, it is not returning anything. Void. Here it is void. This one. It is not returning anything. Just remove. After that, it is printing. At element 3. At element 3. Here it is executing. 10, 20, 30, 50. Because at third location, index 0, 1, 2, 3. Sir, suppose here I am giving 7. 7 I am giving 7. When you are executing the code, look at the output. Unhandled exception. Argument out of range exception. Argument out of range. Whenever you are trying to access in two ways we can check. The first way, whenever you are removing the element, first you need to check that location. Suppose a particular location I am taking. Index, imagine integer location equals to 7. Now chance of getting error na. So if location is greater than or equal to 0 and location is less than or equal to list dot count minus 1. If it is in between, then you can specify that okay. Remove at location, else given that invalid location given. With if else only, directly we are checking. Now seventh location is not there na? Count minus 1. Seventh location is not there, so invalid location. Using if else. No sir, I don't want to check like this. Then you have another option. Go with the try. Go with the try block. That is then catch. Simply you can write that exception message we are writing. Exception E, any object name, just console.writeLine. What is that exception? That message I am writing. E dot message. We know already, we have seen. Two ways. Now this one is what? Later it will check whatever it is. Using if else, or you can go with the try catch. Any option you can choose. Index was out of range, must be a non-negative or less than is a message given here, or you can give your own message also. Okay, this is the simple way of using how to remove the function by specifying the value or by specifying the index. Next one, what is the use of for each loop? How to use that for each loop? Please practice. Hope you understood. Thank you.